What's going on, Colts Nation? Guess what? T.Y. Hilton is back from the reports. A 1-year, $10 million, $8 million guaranteed roundabouts. Yeah, we're going to get into our reaction right after this.
All right. So I guess now you understand what the plan was.
Absolutely. At Colts Law, we talk Indianapolis Colts football.
We're going to stick to what we know, fundamentals and technique, 1% better every day.
So I see here we got Jamie Miller says it's a little pricey given the market, but given it's a 1-year deal, I think it works for TY, the Colts fan and Colts fans. I don't expect him to be here longer than this year, though. Now, I get you're talking about a little pricey. His market value, according to Spot Track, was $10.1 million. So that's right at his market. I thought he would take a little bit of a discount, and then I come to find out he actually did, right? He actually did. From reports, I am understanding that the Baltimore Ravens offered more than $13 million a year for T.Y. Hilton. So he took a massive pay cut to stay with the Indianapolis Colts. Think about that. So did the hashtag bring T.Y. home help bring him home? That's an interesting question. Now, I can't guarantee that the Ravens offered $13 million. That's what I hear. And rumors are rumors, okay? Just saying. I did see, what was it, Pat McAfee talking about it earlier, saying that a team had offered him a lot more money than what the Colts offered. Well, maybe that was it. I don't know. But I could only imagine that you think about this. I mean, T.Y.'s got a chance to come back with the Indianapolis Colts long term. I don't know. We'll see, because this was a cap hit year, right? There wasn't many people out there going to get long-term deals. And T.Y.'s at that age. But T.Y. fills that Deshaun Jackson role for Carson Wentz, right? Between him and Paris Campbell. Man, I'll tell you what. I actually like the receivers sitting on the Colts right now. Yes, Sammy Watkins visited the Colts today as well. So you don't know what's going on there. Maybe they signed Sammy for a cheap 1-year deal to go along with it. I don't know. But as it sits right now, you got T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman Jr., Zach Pascal, right? Don't forget about Zach Pascal. Paris Campbell, Ashton Doolin. You got some guys out there that can actually play football. Not to mention Jack Doyle, Mo Alley Cox. They won't have to be held back to protect Carson Wentz near as much if they fix the left tackle position. I am going to put that in quotes out there. They need to fix that left tackle position. If they can get a left tackle out there that's average or above average this coming season, you won't have to hold the tight ends back all the time to help protect Carson, because Carson can move around, which means Jack Doyle, Mo Alley Cox could have Mo Alley Cox definitely could have a breakout season this year. Not to mention the fact that the backfield of the Colts, Marlon Mack shows over the last, well, not last year, obviously, because he got hurt, but the year before, he can catch football out of the backfield and do very, very good with it. Jonathan Taylor started to show it as well. He had 1 drop all year last year. Naheem Hines, that's his specialty, catching out of the backfield. And then Jordan Wilkins, he's a great running back. So the Colts are set up right now. The Colts are set up this year right now. Offensively, as long as they get that left tackle position settled, I think they're set. Company of Eagles says TY for thank you. Says that Holder is adamant that the team offering more was not the Chiefs. He said he checked directly and told it wasn't them. That's why I'm saying it was the Ravens. That's what I'm hearing. So I'm fine. Nomadic Brian says we could draft a receiver. Well, I mean, obviously weapons are always something that you could actually go out and get. I don't expect them to draft a wide receiver before round 4 right now, though. Maybe round 3 if there's a trade back and they acquire an extra. But if not, I expect the first and second round picks to be something other than wide receiver. Patriots update says it's a good receiving core. I think so too. Aaron Stackhouse says, I don't see the need to bring in Watkins now. Well, Paris Campbell and Watkins are both injury-prone, speedy receivers. So I could see Watkins signing on a lower-end deal because, I mean, they both injury-prone, or at least they've shown to be. So Paris Campbell has shown to be as of late. So it's always good to have weapons at wide receiver, just in case someone goes down for a while. Just saying. JD says, I think we still need an explosive tight end. I think Mo Alley Cox is that guy. I really do. I've watched Mo Alley Cox play. We've seen what he could do. And last year, he couldn't play the way he normally plays because he had to sit back and block all the time. He had a ton of snaps last year, but he was blocking for Phillip Rivers all the time because he was stuck there because Phillip Rivers couldn't get out and escape himself. Yeah, me too here, Larry Brown, me too. Avery says, how are you doing? What are the terms of T.Y. Hilton's deal? 1 year, $10 million, $8 million guaranteed. Or approximately $8 million guaranteed. He says Mo will have a breakout year. I've been calling it. I think so as well. See, I could throw out some decent arguments for plus and minus stuff. So I could give the argument of why we shouldn't as well. But, I mean, I wouldn't sign him if he wants T.Y.'s money. We can't afford to drop that kind of money at wide receiver right now. But, you know. Jules, Mo Alley is the man. Yeah, I love him too. I think he's incredibly underrated. And Zach Pascal can block. Yes, I have to get rid of that word though because we're still a little early in the stream, and I don't want YouTube to take away any monetization that I might have. All right. This is an interesting move. Well, hold on. First off, why not Ertz if he's released? Right now, if he's released, it's possible. I don't want to pay the $7-8 million for Ertz. Honestly, I don't. But if he'll come in, play with Carson Wentz for $4 or $5 million, I'd be okay with that. This is a good one. 5 and 6 receiver spots. So, T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman Jr., Zach Pascal, and Paris Campbell. Those are your 4. I could see 5 and 6 as it sits right now. As it sits right now, I honestly, now, Doolin is a good chance because he also could play special teams. Let me go look because there's a guy that I completely and utterly forgot about, and I got to figure out what I'm looking at. I'm a little slow right now. Wasn't expecting to go through this, so give me a moment as I slide down here. DeMichael Harris is a good chance, right? I like him. He was a rookie last year, showed a little bit of burst at times, right? Patman. Des Patman. That's what I meant. Des Patman, not Ashton Doolin. Sorry. But, I mean, Ashton Doolin's there too, 6'1". Des Patman, another guy who plays a lot of special teams, rookies. We got young guys. There could be some guys that end up on the practice squad at wide receiver, though. So we got to remember that. Thank you so much. Please smash that like button. I would appreciate it very, very much. Don't forget, you could also subscribe if you're not subscribed There's a share button down there. Don't forget, hit the notification bell. Share it to your favorite social media, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is. In the description of the video, there's a link to my Patreon. $5. That's all it takes. $5 patronage. And then you get links to everything that I do, whether it's on my channel or someone else's channel or anything of that nature, whether I join someone else's podcast, something like that. Plus, I have specific videos for patron. So just let you know. Thanks for the good breaking news. Appreciate it. Just plain folks. Thanks for being here. He says, Brian says he wants to see Des Patman as well. Everybody here who's happy about T.Y. Hilton, let me know in the comments. How excited? $1 million or 1 year, $10 million. Are you happy with that contract? Are you happy T.Y.'s back? Say so in the comment section. Appreciate that. If T.Y. shows some availability, he might become more of a long threat and T.Y. become more of a possession-oriented. That's a good possibility. But, I mean, because of his quickness, Campbell is amazing on drag routes and slants, right? So, and Rivers loved that. I think Carson will love that as well. Can you repeat the money and terms again? 1 year, $10 million, rumored to be $8 million guaranteed. I already shared. I share every video. Have a page called Our Colts Nation. Please follow. Go check it out. Go check it out, everybody. Pass rush is now the biggest unknown. All I see is players with potential at the moment. On the Colts, yes. We have 3 young guys with potential. We need to draft somebody. I don't know if the Colts end up getting Justin Houston back. I don't know about Ryan Kerrigan or some of the other older defensive ends. Wouldn't mind bringing one back for not a whole lot of money. I don't want to see a crap ton of money there. But a veteran leadership is something that definitely should be brought in for pass rush. Without any question, in my opinion. There we go. I'm seeing it. 13. I'm excited. T.Y. Christopher, T.Y. Whitmer says he's happy with the contract. I'm pretty happy as well. Avery says he wishes it was for 2 years. I get that because next year it's going to be more money. But T.Y., you know, he's going to want to make more money. He's going to try to prove himself that he still can be that number 1 wide receiver. So I get it. And if he does, then possibly he'll be able to make more money next year with the Colts. You know, because the Colts right now are sitting at like $100 and some million next year at cap. They're like the number 2, I think, cap space. Little pricey, just plain folks says, but he was the last best option on the market. And don't forget, T.Y. took a pay cut. Rumor is that there was a team that offered a lot more money for T.Y. Hilton than what the Colts did, but he decided to come back. And he just finished his visit with the Ravens, too. So think about that. Yes. 600 yards away from the 10,000 receiving yards. And if he gets 600 plus yards next year with the Colts, then that means the Indianapolis Colts will be the only team in the history of the NFL to have 3 wide receivers that had 10,000 or more yards in their career. Obviously, Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison among that list as well. It's funny because it was Marvin Harrison who taught Reggie Wayne, and then Reggie Wayne shared that knowledge with T.Y. Hilton. Is T.Y. sharing it? I'm sure he is. He's talked about it before. I'd love to see him share that stuff with Paris Campbell, right? I'm hoping that Paris Campbell is under his wing because I think Paris could take his knowledge that he learned from Reggie Wayne and and then before that Marvin Harrison, and utilize that if he can stay healthy. That's what I'm hoping for. He is a brilliant route runner. And it's not just that. He knows how to find the open spots, right? He knows how to, when he recognizes that a play is broken down and a quarterback is on the run, he knows how to get open to a place for the quarterback to get him the ball easily. Him and Luck were very good about that. So we got to remember that. Yeah, that's right. It's a crazy fact, but it's the truth. Yeah, 109 million free cap space next year. That's the estimate because we don't know how much actual cap space will be because there is a rumor that because of the hit that the next 2 years, the NFL cap could be hit by $10 million to make up for what they lost this past season due to COVID. So just let you know. So here I am. What do you guys want to talk about? Because I'm really excited about this. I really am. I think that the Colts system right now looks really good offensively. Just need that left tackle to be squared away. Defensively, there's some questions. I love the fact that we got Xavier Rhodes back. That helps a ton. We still a little bit of question mark on the pass rush. Really, it's funny. It's that front line, right? Chris Ballard, Frank Reich, they talk about the trenches all the time, and yet that's where the holes are right now. In the trenches. Kind of odd. The most important parts of the trenches. Your defensive end pass rusher and your left tackle. Ant Rogers with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you very much. Do you think the priority list changes left tackle, edge, wide receiver? I actually think that in my priority list, believe it or not, is edge first, then left tackle. And then I'd put wide receiver, cornerback, tight end, all in a group lump sum together. I think those are about the equals because I think we've only got 2 good tight ends. We could go out and get another one because we don't know how long Jack Doyle is going to be around. Cornerback is always a position that we absolutely need, and I don't think we have good enough depth at cornerback position currently. And then, of course, wide receiver, you're always looking for weapons. The reason I think edge is more important right now than left tackle, I think left tackle, it's easier to find a good left tackle than it is to find a good edge. And that's the truth. And people are going to argue with me over that because of when Anthony Costanzo went out, but that's not a fair assumption because Chaz Green and LaRaven Clark were way below average left tackles, okay? Way below. You go take an average left tackle and drop them in where they were at during those couple games that Anthony Costanzo missed, and Phillip Rivers wouldn't have had the problems he had. I mean, he would have still had some because, I mean, that was Myles Garrett that they were having to deal with, but yeah. I expect this only if a blue chip left tackle or a blue chip defensive end pass rusher is not there at 21. If there is a top dog, like top 15 edge rusher at 21, you go get him. Because there's 4 guys that I like at edge rusher. And then after that, I don't think they're as good as, even second round picks. I don't, after the top 4, I think the guys we have in Ben Banagoo and Kimoko Toure, I honestly, I don't think they're as good as them. So just saying. That's got to be the funniest thing I've seen all week. Oh. Stringer says, I like your Tevy analysis. Seems at least our O-line depth is going to be better, and our rookie tackle will be good between Nelson and the one of our tight ends. Straight up. I that's how I feel about it as well. It's better to have. I will rank Tevy above either LaRaven Clark or Chaz Green, either one. So that's my thought process. But Izzy, think about this. How many times was Wentz hit? Right? It's kind of like Andrew. It's like saying Andrew Luck was injury prone. It's because he was hit so much, right? I mean, Carson Wentz was sacked 50 times in 12 games last year. 50. Had he stayed in for the full 16 games, he would have broke the NFL record. He'd have had something like 80-some sacks. It was ridiculous. The offensive line for the Eagles was atrocious last year. Okay? I don't know. Yes, we want to make sure that the left tackle is important and solid, but it's like you don't need a Trent Williams over there. You could get away with a good left tackle. It don't have to be a great one, especially when you got Quentin Nelson beside him. At least that's my thought. Well, if he's there at 21, or his counterpart, right? Jalen Phillips, if he's there. Either one of those guys there at 21, I take it without any heartbeat. I just, bam, mine, thank you. Second round pick will go to left tackle. And fair fact, left tackle is one of the positions that you could draft in the second round and get a very darn good quality starting left tackle in this draft because it's so deep. I mean, it is so deep. Jadeveon Clowney met with the Browns today. That could be a big signing for the Browns. I just got done talking to Quincy Carrier for the Browns. Yesterday, I was on with Brad Ward of All Eyes on Cleveland. They need a guy opposite of Myles Garrett. And I think Clowney could be that dude. I really do. I don't think he'll come cheap, though. I think he's going to get at least between 11 and 13 million. So that's going to be tough. All right. I heard the Colts like Kerrigan, but want to bring Houston back. I don't want both of them. I don't want two aging defensive ends. I'll take Kerrigan or Houston. Either one, but not both. I think it'd be a waste of money to do it that way. Cosme. Without, I'll drop that in a heartbeat. I'll take Cosme. Cosme is good enough also to move around and pull if he needs to as well. He could also move up into the second level to help out with blocks the same way Nelson and Kelly do. I think Cosme is a better one, but I don't know if he'll be there. I really do think Cosme will be a top 15 pick. People don't understand. There's some, you can look at a trend and see guys moving up. Just like I think Jalen Phillips, I think his stock has risen a lot over the last month. And I think Cosme's stock has raised a lot in the last month as well. Miller says the big thing with the O-line is not to have below average guys next to each other. With Kelly and Nelson and Smith, we cover up some of the deficiencies. That is true. Now, you don't want below average guys on the end either, okay? You definitely don't want a below average. You can get away with average to above average. You don't have to have great on the ends, but you don't want below average on the ends at all. That's just my thought. Eichenberg is on your wish list. Okay. I wouldn't be upset with it. Toxic Tommy says, sure hope the fans and TV audience comes back strong. Well, the TV audience has been there. I mean, even with all the situation that happened last year, the drop in the ratings wasn't that significant. They were still the number one watched thing on TV. The NFL was. So think about that. Still looking through here. Yes. And that is exactly why he's going to rise. I mean, he ran a 40 in like ridiculous time. So, yeah. Good question. Am I planning to go into any games this season? We'll see. I don't have any tickets yet. Like to have tickets. I would go if I had tickets. But, man, my financial situation right now is really, really skinny. I got to put a new roof on my house, and we all know how much that is. And I'm sitting here trying to save for that. As much as I would love to be under the roof of Lucas Oil Stadium, I live under my roof, and it's got leaks all over the place, and it's ruining my walls and ceilings and everything. So it's got to get fixed. Oh, hold on here. Let me go. I'm sorry. Here we are. Well, maybe. All right. So, I had a question. Stackhouse asks, sorry, blah. My tongue got stuck in my mouth for some reason. Aaron Stackhouse says, who are your top 4 defensive ends that I like in the draft? And I'll tell you, in no specific order, even though I honestly believe Jalen Phillips is probably the best fit for the Colts right now. I actually have him as the number 1 guy that I want for the Colts to get. But Pay, obviously. Rosso, obviously. But my next guy is Carlos Basham. Just because I think he's got not only the size at 6'5" and 275 pounds, but he's also, I mean, he's not like super fast. I mean, he projected around 4'8". I think he's one of those guys. I think he's like a Justin Houston, but younger, right? And he's got that side. He'd be a really good run stopper. He wouldn't be able to be pushed off that edge too much. I think that Carlos Basham would be that guy. I know that we haven't had a lot of luck with guys with the last name Basham for the Colts, but I'm not going to hold that against him. Alex, what's going on? Appreciate you being here. Yeah, that's what we was just talking about. We was just talking about that in the draft. I think there are 4 guys in this draft. If any of those 4 drop to 21, I think the Colts should go grab them. Flat out. In the first pick. Because I think that the left tackle, you could get a very good, high-quality starter in the second round at left tackle. But there's only like 4, should I say, very, very good pass rushers in this year's draft. Still, whoa, what was that? I hate it when that happens. JDW says, how do I do film room breakdowns without getting copyright problems? Because I don't use game film. I don't use film that is broadcasted. I use all 22 film. And I pay for that. I pay $100 a year for it. So just to let you know. Indiana Sports Talk, what's going on? Appreciate you being here. Psychological, what's going on? Appreciate all of you here. I've got like 60 people live watching. Please smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. Notification bell so you're notified next time I go live or upload a video. Guys, you need to know this. Just saying. I hear rumors about McGlinchey from San Francisco for left tackle, but what I see on field is a weak blocker. But here's the thing about McGlinchey. I wouldn't mind him because he'll be beside Quentin Nelson. And we know how good him and Nelson were together in Notre Dame or Notre Dame. I call it Notre Dame because we're in America. And it's not the church over there in Italy. But either way, I think McGlinchey beside Nelson would work a lot better than what you're seeing over there in San Francisco. Just saying. That sucks. I hope everything goes well. Planning to go to the Patriots versus Colts this season. That'd be the game that I'd want to go to the most. Straight up honest. That would be the game that I'd want to go the most. Seth Harmeyer, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. I don't know if Carlos is related to Terrell. I didn't look that up. Guys, Oh, Ant Rogers, got me another one. All right, after watching a Senior Bowl, not high on Basham. I get it. I understand. But at the same, and I know that Ballard is a big Senior Bowl guy, but the thing about Basham, in my opinion, is he's still young enough to where when he gets into the NFL, I think a guy like Buckner would be able to help him out a lot. He needs a guy who could take that double team off of him. And we have that guy. That that DeForest Buckner will, without question, take that double team. I think Basham could take hardcore advantage of that. My favorite Colts player right now? Ooh, that's tough. I'm a huge Marlon Mack fan. I've been a Marlon Mack fan massively for the last 3 years. My favorite Colt player of all time is Dwight Freeney. That's the one jersey that I still have left that survived kinda the fire that I had from my house 5 years ago. So just let you know. I got another one I saw in here by Seth Harmeyer. Really want to see Ryan Kerrigan end up in Indy. Like I said, oh, by the way, thanks again for the super chat. Appreciate that. Honestly, I wouldn't mind it as long as it's, like I said earlier, as long as Justin Houston. I'll take Justin Houston or Ryan Kerrigan. Either one. I don't want both. I think they both would provide equal. And I don't want to have them, either one of them, for more than $10 million. But I do like the idea of having either one of them here just because of veteran presence. And if a pass rusher gets hurt or doesn't, show in preseason and training camp that they can take that D1 spot, then we'll have one of those guys to drop in there. Dude, I can't believe how much the Niners paid Trent Williams. I do. I expected it. I knew that they offered $20 million and he turned it down. $20 million and he turned it down. And then other teams were offering a little bit more. So $23 million a year, that's probably about what I expected from it. I didn't expect the length of the deal. That's what scares me. I can't believe it was like a 5-year, 6-year deal. He's going to be 39 when the deal is over. That's all I saw. 39. Are you kidding me? You're biased. You know I don't like him. I get that he had no help at left guard, but at the same time, he couldn't protect against regular everyday pass rushers. That's what he was getting overpowered. And I had a problem with that. Okay. That's what I was seeing. He was getting overpowered just covering one dude. That's why I didn't like him. Colts fan since 65, all-time Colt, Burt Jones. Nice. Nice. See, I'm not old enough to say I've been a Colts fan since 65. I was born in 76. Yes, I am a bicentennial baby. I'll be 45 April 3rd. My birthday's coming up here pretty soon, actually, isn't it? What, about a week? And I'll be 45? Good Lord, where'd all the time go? 45 in about a week. Whew. But I've been a fan since the Colts came to Indy, okay? Psychological says Watkins is an injury waiting to happen. Well, a lot of people can say the same thing about Paris Campbell. So if you got two guys that are, you know, kind of injury prone, so to speak. Now, when I say Paris Campbell's injury, his first year, he had multiple injuries. I'm not going to say that PCL that happened last year, but then again, it happened in like the second game of the year. So we don't know what would have happened had he not suffered that week 2. But the year 1, he suffered a lot of injuries. So I'm hoping that he could stay healthy for the entire season, not miss more than a game or 2 this year. Troger says, glad to see T.Y. back. Absolutely, I am excited that T.Y. is back. Man, he's going to be a big help, especially for Carson Wentz. Buckner is a beast. Honestly, I'm happy that DeForest Buckner got all pro last year because he got freaking, you know, I thought for sure that he was going to get, you know, not get it, but somehow he did. So I'm glad that he got it. Yeah. 6 years for a 33-year-old player. Can you imagine? I mean, as a quarterback, I get it. At quarterback, 6 years, 33 years old, that's fine. But a player, any other position, that is a long time. Would I trade for Daniel Hunter? Not a high pick. Okay? Not a high pick. I like him, but I don't think he's elite. He's good, but I don't think he's elite. So I wouldn't want to give, you know, one of our a first or second for him by any means. Jonathan Stringer, or Stringer. Colts fan here from England. Been a Colts fan since the days of Mike Petrel. Wow. There you go. I'm glad that I'm getting guys from across the pond. Another one from across the pond, Denmark. Keep up the good work. If we sign Sammy Watkins now, which 3 wide receivers are starting? Good question, Christian. Good question. And by the way, because I say across the pond, it's because I watch Lawrence's YouTube. There's another guy named Lawrence on here from YouTube. He's from the UK, lived in Indiana, actually, in Anderson. I used to live in Anderson. He lived in Anderson. He does a show called Lost in the Pond. So, and I like that show a lot. And we used to live in the same city. So, you know, I follow him and watch his stuff. Top 3 receivers starting. T.Y. In my honest opinion, even if Watkins signs, I think it would be Michael Pittman Jr., T.Y. Hilton, Paris Campbell, if everybody's healthy. Watkins would be number 4. Now, it also depends upon situational football, right? Do they have a bunch of smaller cornerbacks? Because then you'd want to put Zach Pascal in there because he's a good go get him kind of guy as well. Big bodied possession receiver who could block a corner like nobody's business. Are they bigger, slower cornerbacks? Then you would use Watkins. It's situational football. We got to remember that as well. Just because you got a bunch of good athletes does not necessarily mean that you're always going to start the same starting guys. All right. Oh yeah, I'll hold a birthday stream. I'll hold a birthday stream on my birthday. Definitely. Jeff Harrod, Tina Matherly. Jeff Harrod is your favorite. That's a good call. It's back in the day. That's back when Jack Trudeau was quarterbacking. And Albert Bentley was the running back. I think Eric Dickerson was running back as well when Harrod was there. I might be wrong, but Whitmer says his favorite Colt currently is Jack Doyle and all time is Johnny U. Unless there was another Unitas that was a Colt, which if there was, I'm sorry, I don't remember another Unitas as a Colt. What do I think about Leatherwood? I think that's one of the reasons why Chris Ballard and his scouts were at the Bama Pro Day. All right, I think they were looking at him. I wouldn't have a problem with Leatherwood. The question is, where will he fall? Will there be a big run in other positions because a lot of teams know that there's a lot of good tackles out there and it'll fall back? Because if that's the case, could Leatherwood fall to the second round and maybe the Colts use their second and their fourth round pick to move up a little bit in the second round to grab him? Kind of similar to what they did with Jonathan Taylor last year. Wouldn't have a problem with it. Would not have a problem with it. I don't think that Leatherwood is a guy that you're going to spend your 21st pick on, though. I keep losing my spot because I'm scrolling down in the chat, and then it jumps all the way to the bottom. David Cave says, live in Anderson there now. Awesome. That's pretty cool. I worked the southern point of Anderson, right, where you got the two main roads that split off on 9. Right near there is a Speedway, and I used to be an assistant manager at that Speedway gas station. Yeah, even Big Q couldn't save LaRaven. Nope. Alex says if Paris Campbell can stay healthy, he'll be our most explosive weapon without any question. Without any question. And it says his favorite current Colt is Big Q, probably. All right. I lived in Anderson, yes. I lived in Anderson. Places I lived in Indiana. I lived in Marion, which is, where I was born and raised. Anderson, Summitville, Goshen, Fort Wayne. I've jumped around when I was in my 20s. Yes. JDW says, what about Zach Pascal? He's underrated. Not a number 1, but he's a solid number 2. I agree. But he's an outside receiver. And that's the thing. I don't want Zach Pascal in the slot. Okay. That's where you're going to put, guys like Paris Campbell, and TY is going to want to be on the field as well. So that's why I'm saying, Michael Pittman, by far, is going to be your number one outside receiver, in my opinion. And T.Y. would have to be out there. And for slot, Zach Pascal is the guy. Or not Zach Pascal, sorry. Paris Campbell is the guy. Pascal will still get a lot of touches, though, especially in the run game. I'm over here in Northeast Indiana, and you're a Patriots fan. Yeah, I know you're okay. Northeast. So, out there by Fort Wayne somewhere. Or further north. Again, yeah, I agree that too. They might go after DB depth. They're not going to replace Rock. He's only been around for 2 seasons. All right. And they still have a lot of faith in him. He just needs to work on a few things. He's still really good. It's just when it comes to man press, he screws up a couple times. Okay. And he can get burnt doing that. So he just needs to work on a few things. I haven't lost my faith that Rock can bounce back yet. It's only been 2 years. Toxic. Amen to that. Amen to that. Whitmer says, Johnny U all the way. At least I gave you guys 1 in 16. Of course, I did say if Cam balls out, I got you. Guys, this was a joke. I don't want y'all to hate on DPN here. I will be with him at 7 p.m. here in about an hour and 15 minutes for Patriots Outsider. Just want you guys to know about that. He's in here throwing out his little troll. That's cool. I appreciate you stopping in and saying something though, even if it was to drop a small troll in there. I'm gonna have to end up calling you Joe Nubo though, because that looks like a Joe Nubo reaction rather than a Ray or out reaction. yeah, it's Ray. CNS. It's Ray. Guys, of course it's Steve Ettman. Jerk. Ettman was the number, in case you guys don't know, Steve Ettman was a number 1 pick for the Indianapolis Colts, who was a complete and utter bust, okay? He did have like a 94-yard interception return for a touchdown, but he didn't last in the NFL very long at all. So, yeah, he was a bust. Quentin Coriat lasted a lot longer than Steve Ettman did. Harrison Height, what's going on? Thanks for being in here. Do we need to go get another wide receiver, or is Carson set? Our weapons look a little lackluster at times throughout the season last year. A lot of that had to do, and I'm going to tell you this, especially at the beginning of the season, that looked a lot lackluster because there was no preseason, all right? We had a brand new quarterback that didn't understand anything about the system, didn't know anything about the guys with him. We had injuries left and right. So of course it looked a whole lot better the second half of the season though. So that's why I think with a full off season this year, I think that our wide receiving core as is, and it is the exact same wide receiver core that we had last year, only Paris Campbell should be healthy. I think it should be really good. Oh, looky here. That one guy, his favorite is the goose. All right. You live in Fort Wayne. All right. So I was right. Yeah, I've been in Fort Wayne. Hey, it ain't over with yet, Ray. It ain't over with yet. All the Colts fans still have a lot of hope for Paris Campbell. We just hope that he don't hurt himself anymore. Yeah. If we sign Watkins, give him a limited role, let him be like the wide receiver 4, I'd be okay with it. Wide receiver 5. That's pretty sad that Watkins was a wide receiver number 2 in Kansas City. But I wouldn't want him being wide receiver 2 here. We got Michael Pittman Jr., who should be 1. T.Y. Hilton, I'd start him before him. And I'd put Paris Campbell at the slot before I'd put Watson. So, yeah. Or Watkins. Can you imagine Mack Truck and the J train in the backfield at the same time? Yes. And I think that would have happened a lot last year had Marlon not messed up his Achilles. Leo? Near Fort Wayne. Okay. Actually, no, I don't know Leo. Sarah says favorite all-time Colts, Peyton Manning. Favorite now is Darius. Did you guys see that stream that we ran last night when I was on with Bring the Juice and the guys from Colts Brawl? We had all those people in there. That was such a fun time. And the fact that they were blowing smoke, they were all kind of praising my streams, and my content. And that really was a big honor. I felt very honored by the words they were saying about me. So I appreciate that all of you appreciate my content, because that makes me feel like I'm doing something right. Okay. So thank you, everybody. You can support me by hitting the like button too, by the way, just FYI. Yeah, I think he's got potential. He just needs to learn a few things. Really? Thick bingo con. I can imagine. I mean, Cincinnati's down there as well. I would imagine that the Rams probably wouldn't be bad. Would be fairly. See, like in Northern Indiana, the Bears are big up here as well. So just let you know. And maybe, but man, I like our safeties, right? Kari Willis and Julian Blackman. But I get what you're saying. I hate all things. Yeah, Dickerson. If you're talking about college, you actually have to get it from the colleges, or have some in your pocket and then trade with other people. If you're talking about NFL all 22 scouting film, you buy it. It costs $100 a year. 5 or 6. That's my thought. Yeah, I appreciate that. Just Plain Folks says that I'm the best analyst on the Colt circuit and Sterling is the best talking head. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks. David E says we need to sign Sammy because if he stays healthy, he's a huge threat. I just don't want to spend that much money on him. That's all it is. Hey, guys, don't forget, I got a Patreon, right? $5. $5. You can go check out the description or the link in the description of the video. $5 a month. That's all it is. And then you get everything that I provide, plus any stuff that I do on other people's stuff, like when I join DPN later, when Quincy Carriers maybe have already uploaded the video that I did with him today. I don't know. And then, of course, I also put specific Patreon content. So make sure you go check out my Patreon page. Also look for suggestions all the time because I don't know how Patreon is ran. So if you guys have any idea about that, throw some suggestions in comments. Colts fans from PA loved Dickerson as a kid. Became a Colts fan when he came to the Colts. Dickerson is my all-time favorite. That's awesome. I liked Dickerson. He had a very interesting upright running style, right? It's like he stood straight up, straight back, so he could see over everybody and see the whole field. That's what made him so dangerous, you know. For the NFL, no. For the NFL, I buy it I buy it for the NFL in general. For college, it goes by team. And generally, you don't buy it, you request it, and they may or may not give it to you. It can be kind of tough. Like currently, I wanted to do a Jalen Phillips film room, but I can't get Miami to give me their all 22. So that might not happen. I wish I could get it, but I sent in a request and I haven't gotten a return on that yet. So just let you know. Appreciate the kind words. Been watching since I had 10 subs. That's great. Only Colts fan I personally know in Cali. Actually, I think we got a couple Colts fans in Cali on this stream right now. If you're from California, drop it. Drop it in the chat. Let David East know. I'm pretty sure I have multiple people in here from California currently in the chat. Christian says, my dream draft scenario, trade back in the draft, get the third back. Draft left tackle Alex Wood and then Carlos Basham in the second. I don't know if Basham is going to be there because I don't know. If it happens, I wouldn't be upset with it. I'd take Basham and Leatherwood. I think that's I'd be perfectly okay with that. Tina asks, have I done a T.Y. Hilton film room? I haven't, actually. I don't think I have ever done a T.Y. Hilton film room. You know what? Thank you, Tina. Because of that, to celebrate the re-signing of T.Y. Hilton, I will drop a T.Y. Hilton film room this week. Can't get to it right away because I am working on one for Dear Pats Nation because the Patriots signed one of my favorite tight ends in this free agency, Jonnu Smith. He asked me live on a stream. I think it was Sunday to put it together. I've been working on it, you know. Good Lord. And the stuff I was seeing from him is ridiculous. That's all I'm saying. Ugh. St. Louis. Wow. Didn't know that. See, I knew that Alex is from California. Alpha's from Florida. Avery says he's an Edger and James, all-time favorite. You're from San Bernardino. I actually almost did not pronounce that correctly. And if I didn't, let me know. But I think I did, actually. Yeah, Paradigm Shifts from LA. Been a Colts fan since 98. Wow. I remember Rosie Colvin. Yeah. You remember Rosie Potts? Chuck wants to know if there's any Colts fans in here from Georgia. Light them up if you are. David says that Joseph Adai was overrated. Adai was not used quite right, in my opinion. Okay? I liked Adai, but I think Adai was more of a Hines running back than a Mac running back. And he was used more like Marlon Mack when he should have been used more like Naheem Hines. Reggie Wayne's all-time favorite. Awesome. I'm missing stuff. Guys, I'm sorry. Still have your stitched Wayne jersey. That's cool. Owen Gill? No, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't remember Owen Gill. Let me look it up. Give me a second. Seahawks, Rams, and Colts, right? Okay. Might have to look him up, man. Second round from the 85 draft. Ooh, that was back when my dad was forcing me to watch a lot of Bears because he was a huge Bears fan. I didn't get to watch Colts games at the same time when they were on at the same time because my dad had command of that TV at that point. And back in 85, I didn't have multiple TVs in my house. I had one TV growing up. All the way up to the point where I moved out at 18 years old in 1994, my family only had one TV in the living room. Love the film breakdowns. I don't even like the Colts, but I'll watch it. I understand. Hey, I appreciate your support, man, just being here. Cam's going to love Jonnu Smith. Yes, he will. He freaking will. And Hunter Henry. There you go. I've asked a couple schools, not a lot. Just guys that I would like to do film rooms for. I did one on IU. I requested one from IU. I got a response of a negatory on that, actually. The U, I did not put one out for Bama because I tried one before, never got it. I think I need to get a little bit bigger as a YouTuber to get more. There are some YouTubers out there and other film room guys that I have just requested, hey, do you have film on this dude? Do you have this game, right, that I could use for my breakdowns? And sometimes I can get people to do that. But yeah. Everybody here's got to remember Austin Collie, don't they? You carry Rosie Potts in your car. Sherman's been, okay. Yes, Austin Collie was, yeah. It's true. See, Potts was a banger, right? Rosie Potts was a banger. He wasn't known for speed. He was known for, like, power backs. All my kids are named after Colts players. That's cool. Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams did well enough for himself anyhow after he got out of New Orleans. He played really good with Miami. He had issues, with not being able to pass drug screens, but I mean, he was a darn good player. My mom was in love with Dallas Clark. Josh says that's I can imagine. I absolutely. He kind of has that personality, that cool everyday personality too. So Bubba Smith, yeah, I remember Bubba. Yeah, that's why it's a sad story. There was quite a few. It's funny because a lot of slot players suffer concussions because of catching over the middle. That's why they had that that new rule, hitting a defenseless receiver because of slot receivers. I have to say, Edger and James, but to be fair, if Ricky Williams was in a better situation, he would have done even better. Oh, man. Your dad had a crush on Andrew Luck. There's a lot of Colts, even dudes that had a crush on Andrew Luck. Yeah, that one guy, got to mention Ken Dilger. Ken Dilger is in my top 10 favorite Colts of all time. Okay. He was a freaking semi-truck at tight end. Okay. Great blocker, underrated pass catcher. Sucked that he ended up going to Tampa Bay Buccaneers because, Dallas Clark was signed. But to be fair, Ken Dilger was a stud in my eyes. He still lives in Indiana. Actually, I think he lives in the Indianapolis area. So just FYI. I don't know, because right now a Tarek Glenn, aka Trent Williams, would cost $23 million a year. But I get you. I mean, if we draft a guy like that, we'd have him for 5 years, right? We'd have him for 5 years because there's no way in God's green earth would be able to afford keeping him. At least not currently. But we'd have him for 5 years. That'd be great. Maybe even trade him, for a first round pick or something. Man, that's the great thing about Ballard keeps doing these great drafts. It's now starting to roll over, okay? Think about this, guys. Currently, this is going to roll over because Ballard's at that point now where his draft picks for the Colts can't be re-signed because of money issues. They're going to sign with other teams, and because they're still really, really good, like Anthony Walker, maybe Malik Hooker, and other guys, Danico Autry, Justin Houston, guys like that, they're going to sign with other teams and have really high snap percentages. And then that's when you're going to start seeing those compensatory draft picks start falling. Okay. He's just now getting to that point as a GM with the Colts where those are starting to fall. And that's a good thing. That's an absolute great thing. Dilger lives in the stadium VIP lounge. He's there every game. One of your favorites was Cato June. Cato June was the original Darius Leonard for the Colts. Again, another guy who ended up going to Tampa Bay. The Colts have been blessed with great field goal kickers and great punters. Guys from Dean Biasucci and Ron Stark, right? Adam Vinatieri. I know you guys don't like the guy from Canada that we had as a kicker, but to be fair, he was a great kicker. I mean, he held the NFL record for the best field goal completion percentage for a career. So he was a great kicker. I mean, we've always had great punters, great kickers. Talk to everyone, not just the one that gives them money. I appreciate it. No, man. The reason why I do that is because when I see something in there in the chat that catches my eye and I want to respond to it, I'll respond to it. Doesn't matter how much. It's streams like this that's great. Now, sometimes I can't get to the chat or I can't spend as much time in the chat because, I'm talking or doing something or I got an interview going on or something like that. And that's just how things like that roll. But on streams like this, it's all about the chat, guys. It's all about the chat. I love talking to you guys because you all are great fans of not just the NFL, but You're smart, right? All of you guys have got a brain on your shoulders, guys and women. My bad. When I say guys, I mean that in a term of just general everybody, okay? I'm at that age where I just, that's how I am. But yeah, you guys are really, really smart. And even if you have something, you say something that I disagree with, you come back with a reasonable argument for it. And generally I'll be like, you know what? That's a good point. I changed my mind, or I still disagree, and this is why. Well, I'm never going to hit you for an opinion on something, ever. All right. When I say hit you, I mean like roast you here on the live stream. That would be mean. Now, if you're trolling, I might roast you. But I haven't had to do that except maybe twice since the dawn of my YouTube. I haven't had to roast anyone, which is nice. The drunken kicker, that's what I was talking about, yeah. And that McAfee dude. I mean, come on. That McAfee guy got drug tested 8 times in 1 year. 8. We don't need that kind of player on our oh, I'm sorry. Oh, he was an idiot kicker. I wouldn't have a problem with Richard Sherman. Christian, I wouldn't have a problem with Richard Sherman on the team, but I wouldn't want to pay him too much. Veteran leadership would be great. I think he's incredibly good at zone, and I think that he would do a fantastic job helping teach Rokusin. But again, I can't really worry about that much money. Your algebra teacher. Remember watching some of my earlier videos and I had just had 76 subs? Yeah, that happens. No, not Hines. I don't think he wanted to be Hines. I think the way Donald Brown played, Donald Brown should have never left the Colts. He was doing really good with the Colts, and then he ended up going to the AFC West and just stunk up the place. He should have stayed after that Super Bowl run. Always liked Just Saturday, not a run block road grader, but he was death on picking up stunts. And here's the thing. Something else that Saturday was good at was seeing where and when things were happening. And he would point specific things out that was going on the defensive line before the ball was snapped to the other offensive linemen. And that's huge. Nah, I don't think Chuck, thanks for the question. But I don't think he fits. I think Melvin Ingram is better in a 3-4 than a 4-3. I don't think he's got the body type or the speed anymore to be in a 3-point stance 24/7. I don't. I think Ingram would be better fit for like the Ravens. No, I have not. I'm going to have to go check that out later. This is a good question, and I might make a stream about that later, Martin. My top 10 Colts of all time. Because, I mean, I've been a fan for a long time. I would have to sit down and think about that. Okay? But that'd be an interesting topic for a stream at another later date. So just let you know. Again, that's hard to say because greatest rock band of all time. There were so many really, really good rock bands and different genres of rock as well. And because it's different genres, it's hard to match who was the best ever. Because, like, you got the best, like, Zeppelin, right? I mean, Zeppelin's up there. Metallica's up there. Different genres, though, right? Nirvana's rock, even though it's alternative, it's still rock. And they're up there, you know, in my eyes. There's a lot of rock. And so I can't really just say what's the best. I have not had a drink in 15 years. And it's not because I'm against drinking. It's not because I had an issue being an alcoholic. I used to drink once in a while. Used to go to parties. I've been to bars. I'm kind of high on life. I actually prefer being sober than being kind of that out of control feeling. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's just how that works with me. It's all good. Vanderjack. Yeah, that was his name. Yeah, the Chargers. NFC West. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been running this stream now for an hour and almost 20 minutes. And I appreciate each and every one of you. That was good. Queen was great. Yeah. There are so many really good rock bands out there. Toxic Tommy says, hated to see Walker go, but the Ravens have his number, and the Cleveland's plays the Ravens twice a year. They don't have his number. They don't. Anthony Walker was playing the run against the Ravens. Do you realize Anthony Walker was on that? The Ravens only ran the ball as a team for 110 yards. He was told, play the run, don't worry about the pass. Make sure you stop the run. The whole darn team was told that. And that's why the Ravens looked like trash in the first half. And then they started passing the ball over the top of the linebackers. And it wasn't just Anthony Walker. It was all the linebackers, okay? Because they were playing closer to the line of scrimmage. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to go. 50 likes. Wow. You like Motley Crue? I don't know if 50 likes is the record. I think I had more than that once. Journey's great. Styx was great. Chicago was good. Yep. But anyhow, again, thanks everybody. Appreciate y'all being here. Please don't forget, before I leave here, smash that like button, hit subscribe, tag that notification bell, share the stream to your favorite social media. It's very simple right down here on that share button. Really help with you guys. Don't forget, check me out on Twitter, Colts_law on Twitter. And then check the description of the video for my Patreon. Go check that out. I could really use some suggestions on that stuff. But until then, please don't forget, I will be with Dear Pats Nation, Ray Rout, here in 40 minutes. So if you want to join there, it is a Patriots channel, but if you want to join, I know some of you are Patriots that are in here. CNS, you'll be there. I'm almost 100% sure of that. Come check me out. Until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen. This is Colts Law, and as usual, have a good one.
All right. So I guess now you understand what the plan was.
Absolutely. At Colts Law, we talk Indianapolis Colts football.